Yeah, what's going on? You already know when the high goes. The Ruger Sprayer out here. Cuts podcast. West Coast trip. You know what's up. We out here in LA. Yo, my creatives, we're going to do what it do. We're going to talk to the locals. We're going to talk to the people of Cuts from out here in the West Coast. You know what's up. You know what it is. Come on! What's going on? You already know when the high go, man. Still out here, Venice Beach. You know what it is, West Coast trip for the Ruger Sprayer. Cuts podcast. You know what the Cuts stand for. Culture, urban, technology, and sports. Now, to the left of me, I had to get this brother here on this platform, you know what I'm saying? I got the word on him. He's doing amazing things, you know what I'm saying? Motivational speaker from Oakland, from the Bay, you know what I'm saying? Nonetheless, let everybody know who you are, sir.
Hey, what's up? This is Goodie Goodloe coming from Venice Beach. Great to be with you today, and all
yes,
your
indeed.
listeners and all your viewers. Just a hometown boy here, originally actually from Compton.
Right.
Lived in the Bay Area, but here now, travel the country, doing my thing, speaking, encouraging, challenging, and speaking into the issues of our day. That's kind of my move.
Oh man, that's what's up, man. Yo, real rap. Take us into what led you to want to be a motivational speaker, because I feel in this era and in this climax right now, a lot of people feel, okay, it's on social media. I see a lot of people being a motivational speaker. Bam, wham, I could be a motivational speaker. What is your insight on that, and as well as take my creatives into what it takes to being a motivational speaker?
Yeah, so, technically don't like to necessarily use that term motivational speaker per se.
Okay.
Here's why.
Okay.
It's one thing to speak the words, it's another thing to live the words.
Mm-hmm.
Your greatest speech, your greatest talk, your greatest communication will happen not from the words you say, but from the life you live. And so my motivation in terms of speaking comes from how I'm living.
Right.
And so I often tell people, you can't take people to a place that you haven't been.
Right.
And so part of me leading and influence as I speak to others comes from a deep passion and connectivity that I have with my creator and the community around me. And so really, when I was young, discovered that I had that gift, had that passion. So yes, I have the technique of speaking, but what's more importantly is I try to live my life in such a way that the most decorative statement that can be said is not in my words, but in my life.
Nah, that's what's up. That's what's up, man. Like, what? Hold on that real quick. So, okay, sounds on. Don't worry, we're gonna cut that. Now, being from the Bay, now I ain't gonna lie to you, real rap, I'm a 49er fan. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna hold you, it's shocking, right? Being from New York, 49er fan. Raider fan all day. Even Las Vegas Raiders?
All day long.
Las Vegas Raiders?
All
right.
Raiders right there.
Okay,
Raiders.
cool, that's what's up. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the man in the background, all that. What inspired you in regards to seeing your community in front of you with the hardships and as well as overcoming their accomplishments? Take us into the tidbits of that came into what you're doing now as far as speaking to the youth and speaking to just your community itself.
Yeah, like I said, I grew up originally in Compton. I lived in the Bay Area, but I grew up in a city called Compton, California, which is just east of here.
Right.
Interesting thing, Compton is called the hub city. And literally, if you were to take LA County, Compton is in the center of all of LA County, like a wheel. So think of the middle of the wheel like a hub.
Right.
And so for me, I've always known that. And so when you think of Compton, people always associate things negatively. But watch this. I don't think it's a coincidence that the city that's viewed as the most negative, the most sort of center of violence, of nothing good coming from it, is in the center of LA. In the center of LA.
And there's something.
Yeah, there's a passage in the text, that scriptures that says, can anything good come out of Nazareth, right? Where they was talking about this young rabbi from first century Palestine named Jesus. Can anything good come out of that region, out of that city?
Right.
And so for me, growing up in Compton, it was always that thought where people were speaking things into your life that you struggled. You had to struggle to make sure you weren't trying to put on. right? Because sometimes
Right.
people's limitations, be their words, their actions, will do more damage than you. So that was a big motivation for me, just being determined. Hey, listen, yep, something good can come out of Compton. I'm a living proof of that.
Right.
You know, and so I'm proud of those roots, proud of the heritage. And so that's a little unpacking for me. And then what I do is I try to use that as a motivation when I speak to people about don't let anyone box you in.
Okay.
Don't let labels box you in.
Right.
Don't let past mistakes box you in.
Right.
Don't let lack of resources box you in. And so it's all about relationships, being true to yourself, and your creator in terms of making a difference and advancing forward.
That's what's up. Now, my creators, did you hear what he said? What he said about the don't let you box in? Didn't a certain person, certain individuals always talk about that, about how they try to box him in, and he didn't let that damn box him in? It's pretty much the same thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm really glad you touched on that. Now, your latest book, and please let everybody know what your latest book is. Take us into what it felt like to really preach, or even for that, not re-preach, but rather speak about the teachings of a great leader in Martin Luther King. Take us into that.
Yeah, so I've written 2 books. The most recent book is called Habits.
Okay.
That's a book about leadership and about these sort of disciplines that every leader practices in their lives.
Right.
My first book is called Kingmaker, that you alluded to.
Right.
Interesting piece where 60 years ago, a man named King, who walked this earth, when he first started out as a young preacher there in the South,
Right.
The Montgomery bus boycott in 1955, 55 rather, and then the success of that. As he later moved into his career in terms of influence society, there were 2 groups of people that impacted the movement in ways that were immeasurable.
Right.
Athletes and entertainers. Athletes and entertainers. In other words, they lent their time, their money, their talent, their resources, their being in order to help advance the movement.
Right.
And what I discovered was it's really a kept secret. Well, where people don't realize the John Legends, the Taylor Swifts, the Alicia Keys, the Sean Puffy Combs, the LeBron James of King's Day were people like Nina Simone, Harry Belafonte, Charlton Heston, Sammy Davis Jr., Jackie Robinson, eventually Muhammad Ali, Joan Baez. So these were artists, athletes and artists, who used their talents and treasures to help Dr. King. They gave to the movement, they spoke up. And so my book talks about those stories of how King worked in relations with those people to help advance the civil rights movement in ways that were immeasurable.
Right.
And so when you look at the movie Glory, for example, and you see how that's depicted and some of those struggles, you know, where Common John Legend won an Academy Award for that. You look at someone like a Bono, the great rock star from U2. You look at Alicia Keys, you look at John Legend. John Legend, when he won the Academy Award for that song with Common in the movie Selma, the only award won, he dedicated that award to the issue of prison reform, okay? Bono, debt relief. Alicia Keys, AIDS. Taylor Swift, issues related to gender equality. And so 60 years ago, you had entertainers and athletes who were championing the causes of their day. And so what I say is, there's a scripture that says, that which is has already been before. Well, in this instance, 55 years ago, there were athletes and entertainers who were leaning in. So the idea of LeBron shut up and play basketball, like that we heard, from some of the commentators in the news, hey, like, be quiet, you just play basketball. That was never the mindset of Dr. King, working with athletes and entertainers. The fact that you make a lot of money, the fact that you can dribble a ball, the fact that you can act on stage, speak a word, actually doesn't absolve you from responsibility, doesn't remove you from responsibility. In fact, you have more responsibility to be involved, to lift your voice, to engage as an artist. In fact, I'll drop this last word on you. Harry Belafonte said these words, the great actor, activist. Artists are the gatekeepers of truth. Artists are the gatekeepers of truth. In other words, your creativity, what you are doing, is more real to the context and the culture in which we live than any other profession. Gatekeepers of truth.
Okay, you heard that. You heard that, my creatives. He's speaking them facts. I hope you're taking that in and listening to what he's saying and everything of that magnitude. Now, last question here. Normally when I bring people on Cuts Podcast, you know what I'm saying, we let them know to really express to my creatives either their top 3 advice or their top 3 quotes
Okay.
to inspire them of coming into, let's say if they want to be an upcoming motivational speaker or be a speaker themselves for their community or be their leader themselves. What are your top 3 advice or top 3 quotes you want to let my creatives know?
I'll let you know. Here, I'm gonna do a bonus. I'm gonna times that 2.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you from my book. I'm gonna speak it real quickly.
Yes.
There are 6 things that I think you need to remember as you create, as you go about life, that will help you be a successful and faithful artist. And it comes from my book entitled Habits, 6 Steps to the Art of Influence. The first one is this, H, the letter H, so it's an acronym. The first one is this, have fun. Have fun, celebrate life, enjoy life. Never miss a moment to take a moment. Have fun, appreciate the sunset. Appreciate the opportunity you have to breathe, to experience life. You know, there are people who were here yesterday who are not here with us today.
That's facts.
That's the first letter, A. The next letter is A. Assume the best in others. In other words, don't assume the worst about others. Don't come with others with stereotypes or perceptions, right? We know what it's like to feel people do that to us. Don't do that to other people. Assume the best in other people. In other words, I'm gonna assume you're not trying to take advantage of me spiritually, emotionally, financially, physically. I'm gonna assume you have good intentions until you prove me differently. Letter B, be good soil. So H-A-B, be good soil. What we say is, be good soil, here's what that means. Leaders are learners, creators are learners. So if you think of soil, watch this. What I'm spitting on you now is a seed, right? Allow this truth that I'm speaking to take root in the soil of your life. Be good soil. If something can help you be a better artist, a better writer, better speaker, better singer, better dancer, better actor, be good soil. Take it in. I insist upon excellence. Everything you do is an expression of you. Always do it in excellence. T, treat the needs of others as sacred. Treat the needs of others as sacred, as holy, as honorable. And the last letter is S, seek community. Anything that's worth doing is worth doing in the context of we. Don't do anything in isolation. Do it always in the context of we. Here's what we say. African proverb, if you want to go fast, go alone, but if you want to go far, go with others. So who's your other? H-A-B-I-T-S, that's habits. Have fun, assume the best, be good soil, insist upon excellence, treat the needs of others as sacred, and community, seek community. There you go.
That's what's up, man. Nonetheless, my creative should know where to follow you, but let everybody know where to follow you at, sir.
Yeah, so follow me at Goodie Goodloe. So it's GoodieGoodloe.com. You can check out my website, GoodieGoodloe.com, GoodieGoodloe, GoodieGoodloe.com, or follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Goodie Goodloe. Love to connect with you.
And that's it. You know what's up. You know what it is. It's another edition of C.U.T.S podcast. I'm out here, LA, Santa Monica, Venice Beach. I'm in the West Coast. Let's go! Hey, man, yo, real rap, man. Shout outs to LA, man. Downtown LA, all parts of LA. This West Coast trip was definitely fire. You know what it is, man. I gotta head back to the East. You know what's up. You know what it is. Another edition of C.U.T.S podcast. Come on!